mercy. You may serve as my herald. Behold, the power cosmic itself! Kneel before Galactus. If you are God, then what shall we call Galactus?
Hey, welcome to IGH Comics, and today I want to show support for a great comic YouTuber, Exilestate Comics, or as I know him, Justin. Exilestate just recently hit the 500 subscriber mark. This is just the beginning for one of the most energetic, genuinely kind comic enthusiasts I had the privilege of meeting. If you're looking for weekly hauls, comic news, or just have a question about one of his favorite superheroes, Thor or Daredevil, then look no further. He's your man to watch. So, subscribe and show support by entering his contest, and let's get discussing who are our favorite superheroes. Let's go. With a YouTube name like Iron Galactus or IGH Comics, you might think my favorite comic hero is Iron Man, or even perhaps Galactus. I know what you're thinking, Galactus, he devours whole worlds. He's the complete opposite of a good guy. But he's undergone some character changes, and now he's Galactus the Lifebringer, so he could be a hero. Well, you'd be wrong. And while I do love these two characters, I prefer a more dominant, all-around badass who ruthlessly pursues the defeat of evil on its own turf. So who are we talking about? Well, I'll give you a hint. He's twice been portrayed on the big screen. His deeds include designing more technologically advanced suit of armor than Tony Stark, outsmarting Reed Richards, and potentially being more gifted than Stephen Strange, aka the Sorcerer Supreme. Give up? Well, if you guessed the villain, who recently turned hero, Dr. Victor Von Doom, then you would be right. Dr. Doom has been one of Marvel's most polarizing and deceptively powerful villains of all time. Doom was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, making his first comic book appearance in 1962, The Fantastic Four, number 5. Ever since his shiny dome appeared on paper, Doom has been a staple in the MU, performing some of the greatest feats imaginable on paper. And while most MU fans think of Dr. Doom as Marvel's most recognizable villain, they couldn't be farther from the truth. Who better to tell us about the man, the myth, the legend than his own people, the Laverians? First introduced in Doom's origins, this never-before-seen backstory shows Doom as the ruler of Latveria, which appeared in the 1964 comic Fantastic Four Annual Number 2. Here Doom was shown to rule the small autocratic country of about 500,000 people. Its legislature and government are virtually non-existent, as Doom himself admittedly acts as judge, jury, and executioner. Doom closely monitors and protects Latveria using a Big Brother-esque security system and robotic police force comprised of Doombots. Yet never fear, for it's not all gray skies and muddy puddles. For Latveria, the country, has little to no crime, no issues of poverty, hunger, and believe it or not, the people love their king. It's an imperfect system and an imperfect world that works. Why? Because Doom cares about the common people. Believe it or not, but Dr. Doom is more than an everyday villain. And yes, he's vain and arrogant, but deep down, everything Doom does, he does for the greater good of mankind. Even if at times that seems drastically maniacal, cold, or calculated, the fact is, Doom has saved the world over and over and over again. I'm not sure anyone in the MU could say that they've saved the world from as many high-profile villains as Doom has. Maybe it's his ego not wanting someone else to get the job done first, but Doom has saved the world countless times when whole groups such as the Fantastic Four and the Avengers couldn't. So here's a list of reasons why Dr. Doom is my favorite bad guy who does good things, who's now a good guy doing good things? It doesn't matter. For while Doom may not be the hero we want, he is the hero we need. So without further ado, my top 10 reasons Dr. Doom deserves to be the most celebrated hero in the Marvel Universe. Number 10. In Fantastic Four number 116, Sue Richards recruited Dr. Doom to help save the world from the Overmind. It was at this point that the Overmind, using his telepathy, controlled the vast majority of the Earth's population, to include Mr. Fantastic. But thanks to our hero, Dr. Doom, he saved the free citizens of Earth, and begrudgingly, Reed Richards as well. Nothing too difficult for our hero. Number 9. In supervillain team-up number 3, it showed Atuma, an Atlantean ruler and bad guy, attempts to take over the world. And when no one can stop him, guess which one of our favorite good guys saves the day? Yep, the Doctor's in the house. He even shows political sensitivity by teaming up with the recently overthrown Namor. And if that wasn't enough, Doom shows mercy by releasing the Avengers. And they help him and Namor basically repel the Atlantean threat. But still, that was awfully nice of him. Helping bring people together, uniting others for a common good. I say, Time Man of the Year cover. Huh? Right? Number 8. Doctor Doom's homeland, Latveria, has been the center of countless hostile takeovers, and none were more vexing to the character as when the Red Skull seized control, in the comic Astonishing Tales number 4. This led to the team-up of Doctor Doom and Captain America, who worked tirelessly together to free the country. By thwarting the Red Skull's attempt to control the world via his mind-manipulating hypno-gun, the Red Skull's rule was short-lived, though, as the team-up of Doctor Doom and Cap proved too much, together the heroes succeeded in securing Latveria's freedom. However, Doom took it one step farther and ensured the Red Skull would never again violate the sovereignty and security of his country and people by tracking down the villain all the way to the moon and destroying him and his weapon once and for all. Number 7. In Marvel Team-Up number 42, the Vision convinces Doctor Doom to save Scarlet Witch. When Dark Rider, a villain from the past in the 17th century, siphoned Doctor Doom's future magical energies, he uses it to power his own 17th century evil endeavors. It's up to Doctor Doom to come riding into the rescue on his rootin'est, tootin'est, trusty mountain, the Time Machine. He brings a few of his deputies, Spider-Man, Moondragon, and the Vision with him, and together they round up the bad guy and arrest him, but not before accidentally starting the Salem witch trials. Number 6. In X-Men vs. Fantastic Four, Wolverine's lovable sidekick and now leader of X-Men Gold Team, Kitty Pryde, experienced a life-threatening cellular disease. Due to her powers, a war broke out between X-Men and Fantastic Four, all because Reed Richards was too busy to be bothered with saving her life. Talk about a prima donna. Yet before things got too bad, Doctor Doom came to the rescue, cured Kitty Pryde, and stopped the war between the Fantastic Four and X-Men. Number 5. There are probably no two books that define Doom as a character more than that of Astonishing Tales number 8 and Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom Triumph and Torment. These two books cover not only the events of how Doom accidentally deformed himself, but why he hates Reed Richards so much, and they describe the events that occurred in his early years which continue to impact the decisions he made and continues to make. And let's not forget, through all of that, we get to see Doom take on one of Marvel's biggest baddies, Mephisto. Making his first debut in Silver Surfer number 4, Mephisto is going to be one of the most powerful villains in the MU as the ruler of Hell. He also just happens to be the sole owner and proprietor to the soul of Victor Von Doom's mother, Cynthia. The quest for Doom to find and rescue his mother was his first real ever objective, and it motivated him throughout multiple comics. It's the sole reason he rolled in the same school as Reed Richards, it's the reason he built the machine that malfunctioned and ended up deforming him, and it's the constant emotional factor that lends credence to Doom's humanity. Fast forward a few decades, and Victor, being the good and dutiful son he is, finally locates his mother, and is undeterred in rescuing her. In a Dante Inferno-like adaptation, Doom teams up with Doctor Strange, and together they take on Mephisto, in order to release Cynthia Von Doom's soul. Doom eventually tricks Mephisto. That's right, he tricks the devil himself, and frees his mother. But as it usually is the case with Doom, his intentions and deeds are misunderstood, and his mother chooses to remain in hell, rather than go free with the monster she perceives as her son. Still, the silver lining to these two stories is the fact that Doom is immensely intelligent, resourceful, and compassionate. Everything a good hero needs to be. Number 4. Doom sacrifices himself, albeit reluctantly. When X-Men leader and psionicist Charles Xavier botches a mind-altering attempt to reform longtime frenemy Magneto, the two accidentally meld into one major villain called Onslaught. This catastrophic baddie almost succeeds in wiping out all the human race, until a few non-mutant heroes commit to making the ultimate sacrifice. Enter Doom. Although not entirely on board with the plan, Doom died saving humanity. Don't worry though, he was eventually resurrected by Franklin Richards, who probably could have saved everyone to begin with, but we won't go there. Later, Doom once again aided in saving the world from what could be considered an evolved version of Xavier's old personality, the Red Onslaught. It's here that Doom proves No two baddies are big enough for him. Number 3. In Fantastic Four number 54, we see Doom's maternal instincts kick in when he alone is called upon to save the baby of his most hated rival. Who are we talking about? None other than the prodigy daughter of Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic, Valeria Richards. It's in this issue we see Franklin Richards manifest the pregnancy of his mother, Sue Storm, an attempt to once again be reunited with his sibling his mother had previously lost. And when things go south, Sue and Valeria's life is once again on the line. So who you gonna call? That's right, Victor freaking Von Doom. The good doctor eagerly helps ensure both mother and child make it safely through this precariously dangerous period. Doom even becomes the godfather of the child after personally ensuring the safe delivery of little Valeria. Reed Richards finds out the hard way, though, that nothing comes without a price, as he finds out his child has been named by Doom. Even when it comes to his own child, Doom gets one up on old Reed Richards. Number 2. In Fantastic Four, number 579, the Future Foundation was the council of Reed Richards, much like the Council of Ricks from Rick and Morty. It's a large group of scientifically driven, emotionless Richards from an alternate reality, who work towards making all realities one big peaceful place. The catch? Most Reed Richards weren't married to Sue Storm. It's a bit cliche, I know, but behind every bad boy, there's a sweet and innocent woman who thinks they can change them into something better. In the case of our Mr. Fantastic, this is true, and Reed was forced to team up with his hated rival Doom, as he so loves to do. And when Rickest Rick Doom and his Morty, Reed, come to settle things once and for all, you can be sure there'll be no more Council of Ricks. I mean, Reeds. Number 1. My number 1 reason Doom is amazing, and he should be considered to be a great, maybe if not the best Marvel Universe hero, comes from a 30-comic run that stretches from 1984 to 2015. It's one of the longest events in comic history, and it entails some of our favorite as well as most hated moments in Marvel continuity. The synopsis of Secret Wars is that an omniscient and all-powerful being named the Beyonder attempts to meddle in the world of man, causing heroes, villains, worlds, and realities to suffer the consequences. Really, the main point is that we discover the Beyonder is responsible for all creation. Sorry, the one above all, but you wrote it, so let it be gospel. Through this series, we see that the Beyonder creates a battle world, gladiator style, impersonates a human, and then gets tired of it all and, well, tries to blow it up using the Molecule Man as his own personal time bomb. When that doesn't work, he resorts to literally using whole worlds as his personal wrecking balls. Doom, being the genius he is, eventually figures this out, and not only creates the Black Swans to counter the Molecule Man, but he ends up creating a better Molecule Man. Doom then goes on to destroy an army of Beyonders with their own creation, a plot he and Doctor Strange devise. As great as the plan is, Dr. Doom is only able to partially succeed by saving fragments of different Earths to form one big conglomerate world in an attempt to save humanity. This is of course only possible because Doom becomes, wait for it, God Doom? That's right, we had Dr. Doom, Emperor Doom, and now we have God Doom. With the power of 1,000 Beyonders, he shapes what's left of the multiverse into an image, keeping peace between heroes, villains alike, within authoritarian rule. But nothing lasts forever, and after Doom destroys multiple heroes and villains during an uprising, it's up to Mr. Fantastic to restore his sense of right and wrong, giving Doom purpose and recreating most of the multiverse in the process. Doom takes his newfound humanity and turns it into something we haven't seen before, a full-time job as a good guy, taking the place of Iron Man as the infamous Iron Man. Well, this tops my list of deeds that make Dr. Doom my favorite, as he's more good than bad. Other amazing Doom stories to read are Doom vs. Dracula, which shows Doom using splinters from Jesus' cross to ensure his safety against the Vampire Lord's all-encompassing rule. Another is Emperor Doom, a plot where Victor uses mind control to convince everyone to live happily under his rule. That is until a rogue group realize what's happening and discover they don't like being controlled. Then there's that time Doom walked up to the Wakanda Panther God and was found worthy by being truly pure of heart. Or, if that's not good enough, there's that time Doom stole the cosmic power from Silver Surfer and went on a rampage. And lastly, if you love video games, then one of my favorite video game stories comes from Marvel Alliance, which tells one heck of a story about how Doom steals the power of Odin and changes reality. Well, that concludes our show, but I'd like to remind you to show support to Justin by checking out his YouTube channel, Exilestate Comics, which is posted in the link below. And don't forget to subscribe to his channel. Thanks for tuning in to IGH Comics. This has been your host, Iron Galactus, and you've been watching the We're All Doomed episode. Signing off and see you next time